Mexican-American mother and a Mexican-born father. From the minute I came into this world, I lived just a few feet away from the Mexican border in this little town named San Luis, Arizona. It really is safe to say that just about every single person that I was surrounded with was Mexican. So there I was, not a single second where I questioned my identity, as everyone around me was just like me. Growing up, my parents made the decision of forming their lives together right next to our family. I lived a block away from my maternal grandparents and a 5-minute car ride from my paternal grandparents. And to this date, I believe that this is one of my life's biggest blessings, the opportunity to grow up and be raised by them. I was taught about my culture, my ethnicity, and self-worth, and over time, I myself fell in love with my culture and with my ethnicity, and formed a huge sense of pride in who I was and where I came from. But even then, I was never able to identify myself. At this point, little 12-year-old me didn't even know what an identity was, let alone what mine was.
Pero a medida que ellas crecían, nosotros compartíamos la cultura bilingüe, porque sentíamos, mi esposo y yo, que México nos dio la vida y era nuestra madre materna, y Estados Unidos nos adoptó y era nuestra madre adoptiva. Y con esa creencia y esa manera de vivir, crecimos en nuestro espíritu de enseñanza y de ejemplo para nuestras nietas, y ellas fueron aprendiendo la cultura nuestra de tal forma.
And so then I talked to my mother, I talked to my father and grandmother, and I told them my struggle. They each had a different answer when I asked them who they thought I was. And that is when I realized that no one gets to identify me the way that I identify myself, as I know me better than anyone ever will.
Una vez Ana Laura me pregunta, oye papá, ¿y yo qué soy? Soy mexicana, soy española por el apellido Madrid, soy francesa porque el apellido de mi mamá es Couret, soy americana, ¿qué soy papá? Dime. Entonces le digo yo, Ana Laurita, tú eres mi hija, eres mexicana, naciste en Estados Unidos y tienes la facilidad de escoger lo mejor de los dos mundos. Siempre vas a ser Ana Laura Madrid, vas a ser mi hija, vas a ser la nieta de tus abuelos. Y eso es de donde tú sales y tú puedes llegar hasta donde tú quieras, hasta donde esté, hasta lo más alto que esté en tus sueños. Pero siempre orgullosa de tus bases, de tus orígenes, porque eso es lo que te va a llevar hacia donde tú quieras ir.
Identity is defined as the condition of being oneself or itself, and not another. But this is something that I never truly understood until just a few weeks ago. But the journey took years and years, and it all started when my mother bravely moved to Phoenix with my little sister and we left absolutely every single thing we ever knew, including my beloved family. When I looked around me on my very first day of 7th grade, I realized for the very first time in my entire life, I was actually the only Mexican in the classroom. There were people of all races next to me now. And so little 13-year-old me sat at my desk and came to a realization that what made me different from all the others around me was that I was Mexican. So I carried on to identify myself as simply just that when anyone asked. And I did that for years and years. But this stopped when once again, I packed my bags and left everything I knew to start the biggest adventure of my life so far, to move to Arizona State to earn a degree for myself. And so then once again, I sat down on my very first day of college and looked around me and realized that there were people from all over the entire world in this class. Anywhere from Asia to refugees from Syria were sitting right next to me. Thinking about this moment where I first realized this still gives me chills. So then here I sat again and wondered what to answer to the new friends I made when they asked me where I was from, what ethnicity I was. This really set me on a quest to find out how to identify myself now. I knew in my heart that I wasn't just Mexican. I mean, I am so proud of my ethnicity, my beautiful, beautiful culture, and the fact that I can dance to La Danza del Jarabe Tapatío and sing the Mexican national anthem perfectly. But there was really so much more to who I was, to who I am. So then I looked back at my life and all the things that made it up. And I asked myself one more time, what should I personally identify myself as? And the answer was not a hard one. I am a Mexican American young scholar who is building a future for herself. I am a woman who is in love with the culture I was born with and in love with the culture I adopted while living in the United States. I have never been prouder of any other realization before, as this is me. This is who I am, and I plan on embracing this for the rest of my life.